Today at the Brandmaster series, we have with us Dr. Mahipal S.H. Dev, the chairman of Center for Sight, one of the most prestigious hospital for eye care with a national presence. Welcome to the Brandmaster series, sir. I'd start off without further ado. As the pandemic has set in, we have become completely dependent on technology and devices, which has further exacerbated the problem of digital eye strain. Can you tell us more about this?
Okay, what you are saying is absolutely correct. The eyes as a structure anatomically and functionally have been created by nature for distance vision. So as and when we have moved on to these video devices or the digital devices, the amount of time that we are spending on these digital devices, which essentially mean that we are concentrating for near work. Whenever you are doing near work, there are a couple of things that happen. First thing is that the eye, which is made for distance, needs to accommodate. Okay, what it means is that if I have to look at a near vision, my power would be slightly different for if I am looking at a distance object. So there is an accommodation that we have to do. The eyes converge together because both the eyes have to come together to have a binocular vision. Okay, so they need to converge and there is an accommodation reflex that happens. So the eyes need to be under constant stress and strain to keep on accommodating. So this is the two things: convergence, accommodation. The third thing that happens is that the blink becomes inadequate. Normally when you are looking at a screen, it's a half blink in the sense that a person is not blinking fully. So there is a half blink. So the tear resurfacing gets reduced because with every blink, there is a tear film on top of the cornea or the front of the eye, which gives lubrication to the eyes and reduces the stress levels. This is something which is very, very important for digital eye strain. And the next thing is that the eyes need to constantly move to keep on reading something. Okay. So these contribute to what is known as digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome, wherein by the end of the day, and if you have spent a couple of hours on the computer or on the laptop or whatever, any video device or anything, you will have tired, scratchy red eyes, and you will feel some kind of pain or asthenopia that you can have, a frontal kind of a headache that you can have, or an eye strain. So this definitely has increased because a lot of activities, and specifically what I wish to say is for children. Children are at the age when they tend to become myopic or they tend to develop minus power. So all these school classes that are being done online, hopefully they should start again in the near future. They have increased and we have got several children coming up with the sudden need for glasses that they are having.
Mm-hmm. Also, sir, since we're talking about this, what are the most common signs and symptoms of digital eye strain? Like, how can one figure out if something is wrong?
Okay, so I did mention that. I will re-emphasize because it is important. The first is tired eyes, scratchy eyes, the eyes becoming red, you feeling that there is some foreign body in the eye, and asthenopia, that means that there is a tiredness or you can have a dull pain or a headache that you can have, and you wish to keep your eyes closed. So these are a couple of the symptoms, and what you feel is a gritty sensation also within the eyes. So these are a couple of things, and then your inability to focus. That means that if I am trying to read for a look at distance or for near, I get a defocus. That means that the convergence that I need for both the eyes to give me a binocular single vision, that also tends to lose because my capacity to kind of have a convergence and a binocular reflex goes down. Specifically, if you are passing through fever or you are debilitated or your hygiene, etc., is not good. So that is what you find. And also distant vision or near vision things constantly remaining out of focus. One is that you lose focus at times after 1 or 2 hours, but the other is that constantly they are out of focus. That means that you are developed an eye power. That means that you need to get an eye checkup done and you need to be wearing glasses.
Okay. And like, are there any common practices that can be taken into account in order to prevent digital eye strain? What do you suggest?
Yeah, the first thing is that, as I told you, that it is directly proportional to the number of hours that you are working on this thing. So longer hours will cause you more problems. So you should try to reduce them to the minimum. For example, when children come to us, we tell them, "Okay, fine, you have online classes, you do the online classes, but there should be regular breaks which the schools should have," and I think they are having between online classes, but they should not be spending too much time then on video games and things like that, which the kids obviously get glued onto, or watching cartoons and things like that. So one is limiting the hours. That is the first thing. The second thing is that there is something called as a 20-20 rule. That means that after every 20 minutes, you should give a break for at least 20 seconds, and you should have 20 blinks, and you should look at a distance of 20 feet at a distance. So these are things that can reduce the strain which is there. Then there are commonly available off-the-counter lubricant eye drops, which can actually be used to smoothen the eye surface and to reduce this strain on the eye. Then you should have good food. That means that green leafy vegetables, foods rich in vitamin A, etc., and omega acids. Those are vitamin supplements, etc., that you can have. Also, there is a concept of blocking the blue spectrum or the UV light. So when you're looking at a light, there is a spectrum of light that is there, and what is more harmful to the eyes is the UV light which is there. So there are UV blue blockers. So you can have a plain zero power number, or you can have a screen in front of your computer which will block the UV light, and possibly that will reduce the strain to some extent. Then you can do what is known as convergence exercises, which are very simple. You can take a tip of a pencil or a pen. So if you have it like this, you try to keep on bringing it nearer towards your nose, and with both of the eyes fusing, the image should remain one. Wherever the image tends to become blurred, you should hold the pencil there and put strain on your eyes to make that image into one, and then again reduce the distance slightly. When you reduce the distance slightly, you should be able to come almost till the tip of your nose. And this exercise you can do for 5 minutes morning, 5 minutes evening. It does not take anything else. And then if you are feeling too much of a tiredness, you can do a simple thing as called as palming. That means that you can just keep your palm on top and just give a gentle relaxation. So those are a couple of the things that you can do to prevent the digital eye strain. And the distance that you are maintaining from your screen needs to be about 6 times the diagonal distance, and it should be at the same level as your eyes. Because crouching or looking up can, apart from the eyes, can give you back problem where you can have strain on the back. So the proper posture and the proper distancing and proper illumination in the room should be there.
So also, are there any medical procedures or treatments available for digital eye strain or dry eyes, as we call it?
No, the procedures for dry eye depends on the type of dry eye. One is because of the digital eye strain, and apart from that, there are the environmental pollution that has increased significantly. That is also giving rise to a lot of dry eye. We are getting a lot of patients that are there for the dry eyes that are coming nowadays. And this is a chronic problem. The patient does not have visual loss, but the patient is often very irritable in the eyes, and the patient is not comfortable. So lubricant eye drops, which can be got off the shelf, like any of them could be available. Apart from that, if the dry eye is because there are 3 different layers within the tears. One is the mucin, the aqueous, and the lipid. Nowadays, the lipid deficiency is happening. That is, there are glands within the lid which are called as meibomian glands. And if there is a lipid deficiency, there is warm compresses that we can do with a machine, and followed up by what is called as an IPL treatment, which is an intense pulse light therapy, which changes the inflammation or reduces the inflammation within the meibomian gland. So this is something new. There is a lot of work that is being done on dry eye, and there are these couple of treatments that have come in, but this is technically for dry eyes and not for computer vision syndrome. Computer vision syndrome by far can be taken care of substituting or augmenting the normal tear secretion with lubricants.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and being with us here today and sharing such informative information with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.